renner voor jou. Als je honger hebt en als alles ba is.
Alrighty, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Last Row Racing stream. My name is Sean Templar, as always I am joined by J.Hub. How are you, my friend?
Hey Sean, very good evening. I am amazing. We are in Hungary in the Hungaroring and it's raining, so we're up for some decent racing tonight. And looking at the top time that we have here at the moment is Julian Hardenberg, one of the new drivers.
Yeah, I think he was absent last time and now he's back. I think Jori Sanders isn't here tonight, so he has a shot at taking that podium.
Yeah, it seems to look like it with the times that he's putting on at the moment. He's actually overspeeding, driving Tommy Schets at the moment with 1/10 to spare. So,
yeah.
Christoph Buijlands also quite good at the moment in the rain, third time, followed by Jamie Ellis and Ace van der Velde. So quite a few people we see normally in the midfield are now actually in the top field. So
I wonder if it's because of the rain or if they've been practicing a lot. Because I know that you mentioned that I think Buijlands put in some pretty decent times yesterday with another race.
Yeah, I've heard like there were around 10, 11 drivers in the server yesterday practicing for this race in rain conditions. So I've heard some spoilers there.
Well, I always like it when the field is mixed up a bit. I mean, the rain can do that, but the looks of it, the forecast is that it's going to rain for quite some time. So who knows? We might get a completely different outcome in this race than we normally expect.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also quite curious what this will bring for us compared to the standings that we have at the moment. As last race we mentioned that Tommy Schets was overtaking Jori Sanders for the top position in the league. Unfortunately that didn't happen, and the reason why, Sean, is that they still had 3 scratchers with the worst performance there. That's the reason why he was unfortunately not first in the league at the moment. So Jori Sanders had some really decent performance on the sheet, and Tommy Schets a little less, so that's why he wasn't first after that race. So our apologies for that.
I, by the way, see that Tommy Schets is asking you to increase the volume on your microphone. He says, J.Hub, up your mic, please.
Well, I try. Let's see.
I don't know if somebody in chat can confirm in a bit if his audio is better or not. As when you fix it, and you maybe can just say a few words to the listeners at home.
Yeah, this should be better, I would say.
Can someone in chat confirm that J.Hub's audio is better?
I think Tommy Schets was there.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll hear it in a bit. Moving on, we have moved into qualification, Sean, so let us keep moving as well. First of all, we have the outlap, of course. What can you tell us about the track today over at the Hungaroring?
So we are in Hungary, duh. It's called Hungaroring for a reason. And I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. It's near a place called Mogyorod, or again, if I pronounce it wrong, forgive me. is a track that was opened in 1986, and it has been host to a couple of major events. We mainly know it from Formula One, of course, because it's in the current calendar. But besides that, there's been some Grand Prix motor racing. The FIA World Touring Car Championship has been here as well. As for the laps times, I have the Formula One ones, for example, and the fastest lap is that of Lewis Hamilton, which he put down last year, which was a 1:16.627. The funny thing is prior to that, it was Michael Schumacher who had the fastest lap. That was put down in 2002 with the previous layout of the track, and that was a 1:16.207. So completely different car from a completely different era, but still pretty close. Whereas older cars had more power because the engine was stronger. The current cars have more or equal power because they also have, of course, a hybrid system there with the batteries. As for track layout, the current track is 4.381 kilometers or 2.722 miles. And the time in Schumacher, when he put down his fastest lap, it was 3.9 kilometers or 2.4 miles. So that's a bit of a shorter track than now.
Well, that's interesting to know. At least, yeah, as you said before, it's two different eras of cars, but only.
It could be that it's still a bit too soft.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if that's something we can look into. Oh, and I see Robertson taking a spin there in the rain.
Yeah, it's slippery, Sean. Slippery as hell, as it looks like.
It reminds me of in I don't play it anymore, but like in the old days, I used to play Mario Kart, and then you could throw like a banana, and if somebody were to drive over the banana, they would slip and slide all over the place. It almost looks like that. Can you still hear me? I don't hear you anymore.
Yep, I hear you.
Ah, okay, good.
Yeah, I don't know why there was a recent update to the streaming software we use, and every setting that was there is completely gone again. So
Happy days.
happy days, exactly.
Is it an update to Streamlabs or is it an update to Assetto Corsa?
No, it was to the Streamlabs software that we are using.
Okay.
So unfortunately, yeah, nothing we can say about it.
Yeah, that's kind of the difficulty around recording. I remember this weekend we were recording an episode of our podcast and we were using video for the first time, and like until the half of the recording it went well, and then the second half the video feed just was gone and there was nothing we could do to fix it. Like technology, stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly. We'll move forward with what we have at the moment, so hopefully it's good enough.
Let's dive into quali then.
Yeah, I think the first time's coming up. Yep, it's Julian Hardenberg, just like practice, and 1:49.0, so even quicker than practice at the moment. Track condition is damp at the moment, so we'll probably will stay at damp or even move to wet. So this is the time to shine, I would say. Let's see, Tommy Schutz 1.1 second behind. He is increasing almost 1 second, or towards 1 second at the moment. So this is looking to be a fight with Christophe Bruilands, Tommy Schutz and Hardenberg for the 1, 2 and 3 compared to free practice. And let's see what they can do here in qualification tonight. Tommy Schutz, he is improving, but just not enough. Only 2/10 split behind Julian Hardenberg here. Let's see who the next in line who is improving is Jamie Ellis, 5/10 up at the moment. Justin Broskis at the moment 4 tenths up. Jamie Ellis still in his quick lap, 8 tenths up. He needs 2.2, so he will be moving up to P4. Here we go. Just end of start finish into P4. Next up, Cas Dombrovskis, 6 tenths up. Let's see what he can do here. Still a long way to go though, 5 tenths up. Chris Downing, P11 as well, 5 tenths up. Emil Madsen, P12 at the moment, 4 tenths up. Looking at our Nico Hulkenberg there, Sean, P20 at the moment.
Oh no! What happened?
Yeah, I think it's slippery. Dombrovskis, 5 tenths up at the moment. Let's see, last corner, 6 tenths. And this is unfortunately not enough for P1, but still enough to climb up. So moving into P3 and putting Christoph Rylands back into P4 at the moment. So
I
quite
wonder
nice run.
if the rain will impact Hardenberg a lot, because the gap between Schets and Hardenberg is pretty small.
Yeah, 2 tenths at the moment, and the Merc as well said before, quite a stable car compared to the Honda, but it is one of the tracks where the Honda can shine.
Are you gonna drive the Merc next season, or are you gonna stick with the Porsche?
Now, the plan at the moment is the new Merc 2020 to drive that one next season. So practicing a lot at the moment and trying to get a hang of it. So
Nice.
interesting car at most to say.
Nice.
So we have P15, Jeroen Weideman, 3 tenths up at the moment. He needs 3.8 to get top position.
I like that Ferrari. That Ferrari is so nice.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm biased. Scuderia Ferrari.
So he's 9 tenths up. Still not the right way to go at the moment. Looks like a netcode error here. Jeroen Weideman. Or just a misdraw in the game. Could be still on track. 1.3 up, 1.2 seconds up. Let's see if he can keep it up. Entering the last sector of this track. 1.1 second up. Losing quite a lot here in the last sector. 9 tenths. We'll be putting him in the midfield at the moment. Last corner here, 1 second up. And that will be a P10. Just putting Martijn Breuker there outside the top 10 at the moment. But we have still 4.5 minutes to go, so probably 1 or 2 laps. We'll see those guys flying to put a quicker time in there. Martijn Breuker 3 tenths up at the moment, trying to get that top 10 position back. Top 10 at the moment not increasing. 2 tenths up here. Yes, we were speaking with him before, Sean. He was really struggling with the Nissan here in the wet. Also in practice yesterday, so
Yeah, we were talking about it just now. I think he's gonna slip and slide a lot over the track with the added rain, because with the car itself already is pretty slippery from what we've understood, and I think with these conditions it will only get worse.
yeah, I think so too. That it is a really hard car to drive here in the rain. But still, let's see what he can do. It's 7 tenths up at the moment. He needs at least 2.8 to make P1, but that's unfortunately not happening probably. 4 tenths left, 5 tenths, last corners. Last corner actually, 4 tenths up. It's enough for for the top 10 at the moment, but will he stick there? P6, moving up to P6. Tom Schatz as well, increasing 2 tenths at the moment. He needs 4. Hardenberg just improved there, Sean. 48.7, that's really quick in the wet.
Wow. Well, the track condition is damp, so who knows? It might even improve.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that was Benvenuti getting out of his way. Lost quite a lot there and a spin as well on the curb here. Back at the original time. You need 4 tenths, 5 tenths actually. Last couple of corners, 1 tenth up. And last corner before start finish here. Unfortunately not improving that much as he wanted to. Not enough, and that leaves him with the difference still of 4 tenths to the P1 position of Julian Hardenberg, who is as well improving but has a long way to go. We have here P7 Thomas Zivokas, a new driver in this league. Sean, you just noticed him. He's 5 tenths up and in P8 at the moment, so quite
nice.
a quite good contender for the top 10 at the moment, as it looks like.
Is this his first race with us?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen him on track.
And I think for Daisy he's also new, or at least for me he's new.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh.
a big no-no.
Yeah. Oh wow, quite a lot of damage.
Jimmy Ellis, last corner, 2 tenths up. He needs 1.6. Unfortunately not enough, and just not enough for that poor P4 position of Gas. The Moroskas there. Chris Downing, P7 at the moment. 2
Well,
tenths
there's
up.
no money on him today, I guess.
I think he's struggling as well here in the rain with that Bentley of his. I don't really think that the Bentley is the best car for this track as well, as I have read on forums. So I think he will be really happy with a top 10 finish today. So we have Enzo Benvenuti on board tonight. Just a fun fact there, Sean. Last Thursday in the Super Trofeo Cup we had, his dad drove there.
Yeah, you told me.
So that's interesting to see that we have a lot of dad sons on track
Yeah,
here.
but the dad's been doing sim racing for a while, right?
Yeah, I think they will pass it on to the new and younger generation in this league. So interesting to see if he will join in for next leagues that will come for the GT3. And we have a checkered flag for new lap times, so only laps that are in progress can be finished off at the moment. So we have the only one improving at the moment, Martijn Breuker, P8 at the moment, 1 tenth up. Martin Baldinger, P11, 3 tenths up. So Martijn Breuker, last corner coming up for him, 2 tenths at the moment. Can he slide into P7 at the moment? Chris Downing, he needs roughly 2 tenths, 3 tenths up, increasing there and into P7, just in that last lap that he had there. Nicely done. Ace van der Velde, a good contender last race, 2 tenths up. Three tenths up at the moment. To put him in P8 actually with this pace. Let's see if he can keep it up. Last corner, 2 tenths up. He needs a little more to get into P8.
Yeah, I see that Martijn Breuker has been able to move from P20 to P7. Nice increase.
He just increased 3 tenths in the last lap, so that was nice to see. He's on the hill, 2 tenths up. P9 he will start. And for the rest, I think we have almost everybody in pit. Only Daniel Robertson in last position at the moment, but increasing 6 tenths. So that will be a fight with him, with Ilko Hogeveen. Ooh, just short of P21. So that will be the fight in the back to watch. As Eddie Oosterbrugge versus Ilko Hogeveen. And Daniel Robinson. That moves us almost into the race, Sean.
We have a few minutes left, I guess. Oh, is the race in the dark?
Yep, we'll start 2 a.m. in the morning.
Wow, rain and in the dark.
Yeah, interesting, right?
Wow. Okay, then all bets are off.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We have 4.5 minutes to go.
Is this the part where one of us tells a joke or something?
You know a nice one, Sean?
Well, I heard one the other day, and I when I thought about it, like, oh, it's actually quite funny, but you have to understand it.
All right, let's give it a try then.
Okay, so it's a knock-knock joke.
Okay. Here we go.
Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Pencil.
Pencil who?
Oh, never mind. It's pointless.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's so bad.
I really don't want to know where you picked that one up.
I heard it in another stream. I was checking somebody's stream, and there was a random guy that popped in, and he was talking to the streamer, and then he said like, "Oh, hey, I know this really good joke," and he told him. I was like, "Hey, it's original, you know."
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Wow. Well.
Hey, I get an A for effort, I guess.
Absolutely. We cannot say we have no fun here. Jeez. Right. Let's move over to the starting grid that we have. Julian Hardenberg, Sean, your surprise of the last couple of races is starting from P1 at the moment.
I think if he, just, I mean, he's had some bad luck in the past. I mean, he had the drive-through in one of the races at the start of the race because he was speeding before the race started, and some other few things. So I think if all goes well, he might actually bring it home.
Yeah, interesting to see, as he's quite new, I've heard, to sim racing, so we'll see how his consistency lasts in these conditions. P2, Tommy Schets, just not enough for that P1 position with the Honda, but still really strong on the starting grid tonight. The surprise of the evening, I would say, Bruinlands, Christoph Bruinlands.
Definitely.
P3, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving up, P4, Kastenbrowskis, 5, Jamie Ellis, 6, your new guy as well, Thomas Sivokas.
Is
7.
it one of the... I don't know, if has Ellis ever started this high?
That's a very good question. I cannot answer you on top of my
think
head,
it's
but
like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's also like a nice one for Jamie Ellis to start up that high.
Yeah, it's really nice to see him moving up as well in the starting grid. Let's see how we will do tonight. P7, Martijn Breuker, 8, Chris Downing. Ace van der Velde, 9, still a good qualification there from him. Martin Ballinger, P10, Justin St. Laurent, P11. Jeroen Weideman as well, probably quite pleased, P12. Emil Madsen, P13, Enzo Benvenuti, P14, Rafa Star, 15, Van Geffe, P16, Vol Daisy, the new guy as well, P17, Delgado, 18, Das, 19, Robertson, 20, Oosterbrugge, 21, and last of the best, Ilko Hogeveen, P22.
Nice.
1 minute to go, Sean. Expectations, 1, 2, 3. Are you able to dare this one?
I would say that. I would say Hardenberg, Schets, and maybe still Dombrovskis.
Ooh, yeah, we spoke with those two of those last race, I have to say, not last week. So interesting for that P1, 2, 3. I would say Schets, Dombrovskis, and I'm looking forward for him to come back from Downing for P3. But that's a fingers crossed for me.
Your money, man.
My money, man. Yeah, no. All bets off the table tonight with these conditions. But still, a lot can happen as we saw last race as well. So that's a really interesting mix for the standings this season. Those races, and also a pleasant races to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Alright.
think because if you either of the two factors, like rain or at night, is like making the race harder. But if you add them both,
Yeah.
it just throws everything in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. And you as well cannot see the aquaplaning on the track that clearly, so the puddles will build up as the track is already full wet, so it can only increase on track condition, or worsen the track condition at the moment, and giving you more a hard time to race here tonight. So the formation lap is on the way. We have Julian Hardenberg here up front leading the pack. With his qualification, putting him in P1, followed by Tommy Schetz, Christophe Bruilands, Keston Boskers and Jamie Ellis. We have a 1 hour race tonight, Sean, so an endurance race as they call it in this league. And we're actually nearing the end of the league already. We have, I think, if I'm right, after this race, three races left.
We have Barcelona, we have the Nürburgring, and we have Kilami,
Yep.
I think.
I don't think it's that full order, but it's those 3 tracks. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, I think the Nürburgring was the last one.
Yeah, that's correct. So interesting. What's going to happen here then for the standing? As Jordi Sanders isn't been present this season.
But I think he needs to do the last 3s, otherwise he might lose the championship, right?
Yeah, I'm really interested what his strategy is going to be, as he was here last Thursday with the Super Trofeo League that we had. So if he wants to stay in that P1 position, he preferably needs to join in probably 1 or 2 races to keep his position safe. Enzo Benvenuti as well, a hard qualification into P13. Normally we see him up a little higher there.
Well, we have 10 viewers in today's stream.
Well, that's in bad, I would say.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
nice corners here before start finish. We'll move over to the Heli-Cam overview that we have here for the first corner. So don't forget, Sean, the first corner is a right-hander, so everybody on the inside line should benefit from that one. And
Let's hope they get through it cleanly.
Exactly. Let's see how they will end up after corner 1 and 2. Let's follow aboard here Christophe Bruilands in P3 to get a little overview as we're reaching the start-finish line for the race here in the Hungaroring.
There we go.
And we are on the way. 1 hour race. Good start there for Jamie Ellis on the inside line from Christophe Bruilands.
Yeah.
Really trigger happy on the gas pedal there. Looks clean. Chris Downing trying to find a hole there.
Oh, somebody's going wide.
Yep. Looks clean at still. On the back as well. Let's move over to the top. Tommy Schetz trying to follow over here. Follow Julian Hardenberg. All clean there still. A little slide there on the inside. I think it was... trying to keep it up. And I think that we have a slip and slide there in the back. I don't know who it was. It's not Jeroen Weideman.
Admiral Bushido says, Bruilands on fire.
Oh, definitely he is, yeah. So we have Thomas Sivokas, the new driver in this league, up into P5 at the moment. It looks really clean at the moment still, Sean, so
That's a good sign.
that's a good sign, definitely. Or like a dive bomb almost there from Christoph Bruilands. So Christoph
think,
Bruilands moving down to P6 at the moment since the start and P3.
I think in these situations, I think for him it would be important to just keep his head down, keep focused, and just try to get the best result out of it instead of letting his drop in positions get to him and maybe causing him to do some of the crazy moves.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Sean, as he is building up consistency, and he is known for his consistency in all those races. So I think he will be really happy with a top 10 finish tonight. So we have Jamie Ellis knocking on the door here with at Kes Dombrovskis P3 for a podium position. So that's the Audi versus the Mercedes. So what do we have? Further back the line, Enzo Benvenuti trying to find a gap to closing the gap to Chris Downing there. And Chris Downing trying to find that spot to overtake here Martijn Breuker in P7. So that was full Daisy that we saw slip and slide a lap back. Let's move on board real quick with Chris Downing here. I really have to say I like that lighting inside the cars, Sean.
Yeah, it's really nice, right?
Yeah, it's more like a neon glow or
Kinda,
something. Yeah.
Kind of like Fast and the Furious, Need for Speed.
Yeah, no Tokyo Drift tonight, please. As you can see, those guys struggling with the grip. So we have still Jamie Ellis trying to fight Kes Dombrovskis for P3, Schetz and Hardenberg in P1 and 2 with a 2-second difference at the moment. So we're really driving out of this pack. You have Emil Madsen here trying to fight Justin St. Laurent for P10 and followed by Martin Ballinger here. With the custom livery of Emil Madsen again that we saw last race as well.
Yeah, that's an awesome one.
Yeah. Jeroen Weideman here following, finding the gap towards Martin Baldinger. Sliding real wide here, keeping it on track. Enzo Benvenuti being full tour, Ace van der Velde for trying to fight P9 here for Enzo. I'll have to say, Sean, this is a track that's really hard to overtake on. So we'll look forward to those fights in the possibility spots on this track to overtake. There are not that many, so we'll have to watch them. So Jamie L is still trying to close down that gap towards Kes Dombrovskis here in P3. Emil Madsen still in the fight there with Martin Ballinger for P12 at the moment. We got Ace van der Velde on the bumper of Enzo Benvenuti here. Is he trying to find that inside line? Yep, he is. Is he close enough? Unfortunately not, so he can try and start all over on that overtake he was planning to. But it looks like his exit was better here. But Enzo Benvenuti, with the experience he has, closing down that attack line of Ace van der Velde.
Next up would be Downing, but the gap to Downing is pretty big.
I saw Martin Bollinger. I think no, it was not. It was Justin St. Laurent having a little big hit there. So damage to his car, as you can see.
Oh, man.
Dropping back rapidly at the moment. So his tires as well probably. Oh, that car is bumpy as hell, Sean.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like stuttering ahead.
Yep, I think the impact on the wall was big there that we just saw in the background. Oh, I think somebody else as well drove a little wide there. Okay, let's see the fight here going on with Chris Downing and Martijn Breuker for P7. Good news for you, Sean. Julian Hardenberg, 4 seconds loose towards Tommy Schetz. Actually, almost 5.
Almost 5, yeah. Holy crap.
So he is driving like nothing is keeping him down.
I hope we can get him in the post-race interview channel, because I am really wondering how he manages to pull that off.
Yeah. Same question here. Let's see.
But like also the gap between Schetz and Dobruskis is like 3.9.
Yep.
Is wow.
Yeah, they're pulling off like crazy at the moment. Let's see if Tommy Schetz can do something about that lead that Julian Hardenberg put in at the moment.
5.1. What the hell is going on here?
Like Julian is really driving consistently and comfortably here in this P1 position.
It's like the rain has no impact on it, and in the darkness as well.
Yeah. It's lonely up front. That's what they normally say.
Yeah.
So Kaz still in the fight for P3 with Jimmy Ellis. He was slipping there a little, so losing a little time there. Emil Madsen trying to find that gap towards Enzo Benvenuti for P10. And Enzo Benvenuti, of course, is still in the fight with Ace van der Velde for P9. So this pack is really close to each other. What we have going on further is Eddie Oosterbrugge here trying to get towards Eelco Hoogeveen. So Eelco Hoogeveen moved up quite a couple of places here. I think that's a slip and slide there from Chris Delgado at the moment for P22. So he moved all the way back to the back marker position. And just behind Eddie Oosterbrugge there is Peter Daas and Daniel Robson, 21 and 20th position. And Eelco Hoogeveen already looking forward towards Peter Voldisi in P17, trying to get up into the line of P17 at the moment. I think there was rough start there. Yep. Car number 77, having little trouble to find the grip. Yeah, it really looks like Rough-Star has some trouble finding grip here. As we normally do, Sean, we have one mandatory pit stop tonight for the new tires. So we'll probably see some tries towards the undercut.
I always like the part where people try to when they think of a strategy and then when they execute it and it turns up in their favor, like the way they planned it. I always love seeing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the downside of the mandatory pit stop is that the wet tires are not degrading that hard as normal slicks, so it won't have that big of an influence on the strategy-wise. The only strategy impact it can deliver is, of course, the in and out times of that pit stop, so timing it.
Yeah.
So
But if you head into pit, can you decide if you want to have the tires swapped in or out, or like refueled or not, or is it like no matter what, it will get refueled and the tires will be changed out?
So there is no refueling, it's only a mandatory pit stop towards tire change. And that's
Okay.
mandatory. So fueling is not an option at the moment for this race over 1 hour, and also not necessary. So the only downside is of course repairing damage and the in and out time of your pit stop and the tire change itself.
Okay.
So that's
Do we know?
yeah, that's the strategy wise you can benefit towards a fault from your component.
And do we know what the average pit stop time is?
For the tire change itself is 30 seconds, depending also on how you screw it up, of course, with the in and exit of the pit stop itself.
Okay.
But yeah, roughly around, I would say 60, 50, 60 seconds, 70 seconds. Yeah, depending on your on your ability to make a clean pit stop there. So Jamie Ellis at the moment P4, still in the fight there with Broskis. So they're really on the same level at the moment in this race. On the same pace. We have Dombrovskis a 151.0 compared to the Jamie Ellis 151.3 at the moment. As his quickest lap time.
It's also nice to see that Bruinlands is still driving consistently in 6.
Yep, he definitely is. Has quite a big gap as well to Martijn Breuker, 2.2 seconds at the moment. And our new driver Thomas Sivokas in P5.
That's a good way to make an entrance into a new league.
I would say so. Into the chicane here, trying not to hit those apexes hard as they are slippery. We have a yellow flag there, Sean, so probably somebody had a little trouble keeping his car on the track. His track on the car, wow. I see Peter Voldesi in pit, so that only can probably looks like a undercut he's trying to make or a repair of damage that he had to his car. And we still see here Daniel Robson with the damage to this car on the right side. Quite a lot there still. Delgado as well in P20. Peter Daas trying to catch up to the group up front. Ilko Hogeveen. And I think Justin Saloro there in the back driving wide. Jeroen Weideman in that pack as well with the Ferrari. Followed by Eddie Osberg in the Bentley. And there, unfortunately, did Jeroen Weideman go in that corner. Just a little spin there. So he has to start all the way back from P19 at the moment. Chris Downing, P8. Trying to look forward towards Martijn Breuker. 1.7 second gap. And Thomas Sivokas trying towards to move up towards Christophe Bijlands and P5. Within a second towards Christophe Bijlands here. Broskis drill still in the fight there with Jamie Ellis for P3 and 4. And Julien Hardenberg, just like it's nothing, almost a 10-second, well, it's actually a 10-second gap towards Tom Schrets.
What the hell is happening here?
Yeah, it's like those two cars are still not driving in the rain tonight. Or they're just like up and beyond the rest of the drivers that we have here.
Yeah. Maybe Ilko Hogeveen might be able to overtake Rafastar, but from there on it'll be a long drive.
Yeah, so Ilko, as you said, Ilko Hogeveen here is still in the fight with Rafastar for P14. And we have Peter Das in behind, so together with Eddie Oosterbrugge, so still that pack close to each other. He really had to avoid there, and that's taking and leaving him off track. Still can take his position in P15 behind Rafastar, but we really have to defend at the moment. And I think Peter Dash just slipped in between. No, he's not. He's just back at the Oosterbrugge. They switch places. Let's move forward real quick. We have Eddie Oosterbrugge here still in the fight. Of course, Eddie Oosterbrugge, Jamie Ellis still in the fight with Gaston Roskis for P3. So 1 second gap between those guys. And we have Justin St. Laurent completing his mandatory pit stop, and Jeroen Weideman and Full Daisy still in pit. So that probably looks like a DNF, Sean, that we have for 2 cars already.
Aye, aye, aye.
Yep. So we are entering P lap 10 at the moment for the grid. Let's say Sean Brylon still consistent, P5. Broskis as well, P3. So still everything can happen, of course, as we have still 39 minutes to go in this race.
I think Bruilans might try an undercut.
Yeah, would be not a bad option for him at the moment.
I think it's the most logical one at this point.
Yeah. But it's the same thing that could be an option here for Jamie Ellis in P4 towards Gaston Broskis, as they're really racing neck on neck within a second gap.
Yeah, the tricky part is Bruilans isn't close enough to follow him in or out of pit.
Yeah,
because if he was pretty close, you could just follow him in and then maybe keep the gap small.
Exactly. It looks like he's more defending at the moment towards Thomas Sivokas in P6. Then instead of attacking Jamie Ellis here for P4.
Yeah.
So we have Jeroen Weideman back on track, so that's not a DNF, but a long pit stop towards damage that he had probably. So that's only Full Daisy at the moment still in pit and not returning on track, so that's the DNF. That's certain at the moment. So the top three all within a big gap to each other. Julian Hardenberg towards Tommy Schetz, 10 seconds plus. Tommy Schetz towards Kersten Broskis, almost 20 seconds. Depending on the corner, of course, where you calculate to. Now it's stable more at 14 seconds. That's looking more like a realistic time frame. So we have Martin Boldinger here in the fight with Emil Madsen for P10. So that's the Lamborghini versus the Lexus. Here we see Van Geffen in behind there, going a little wide, returning to the track in the Bentley. So Martijn Breuker, as we see him here up front in P7, just driving out on a little gap that he created there. So probably for Chris Downing as well an option to try that undercut here, as the gap is increasing towards those guys here for P7. So the gap at the moment 2.5 seconds. Jamie Ellis now looks like he's defending more towards Thomas Sivokas in P6. In that Aston Martin that we see here. Let's move in on board here with Thomas. Of course the Aston Martin, really decent stable car compared to the Audi of Jamie Ellis here. So it's all towards the setup the guy's using, if it's giving them their nice driving experience. You can see that Thomas is knocking on the door of Jamie Ellis here. And Jamie Ellis is pitting already, so he's trying to make that undercut towards Christoph Breilands, as we spoke of earlier. But that gives room for Thomas Sivokas to move up into P5 and driving as quick as he can to close down that gap he just had towards Christoph Breilands. And then we see a car leaving pit. And that's the BMW of Enzo Benvenuti, it looks like. Or Eelco Hoogveen. So Emil Madsen trying to find a way forward to Martin Baldinger at the moment. So 1.5 second gap in between those guys. Jamie Ellis is still in pits, and Eelco Hoogveen behind him as well. So Christoph Breilands, that's the question, Sean. That's the undercut he's trying to make.
I'm curious to see what's gonna happen.
Let's follow here along with Christoph Breilands. As Jamie Ellis has a stop and go of 30 seconds towards speeding in the pit lane. Ooh, that's not the result he was hoping for.
This might be the break Breilands needs.
Yeah. And as well, of course, for Sivokas, as he is he's moving up a spot now, as Jamie Ellis has to take this stop and go penalty. That's a shame. Yeah, Jamie Ellis moving down the line now. Daniel Robertson as well in pit. So we have Jamie Ellis here on track now. So Martijn Breuker, a little breathing space towards Chris Downing here. And up front we see the new driver in this league, Thomas Sivokas, P5 at the moment. Trying to look forward towards Christoph Breilands with a 2 second gap at the moment. Well, that's a pity for Jamie Ellis there, Sean, as he's probably moving rapidly down the field towards the back end of the field as well with that stop and go.
Yeah, I think these are things you can't calculate for this. These are things just happen, and yeah. I mean, the only thing he can do right now is to not let it get to him and just keep his head down and focus, because sometimes in these moments people can try to make those crazy moves because they just want to get back at where they were so desperately, and we've seen it in the past with other drivers that they cause crashes or incidents because of it.
Yeah, and he is at the moment in the pits taking that stop and go penalty of 30 seconds. Interesting to know how we get that stop and go penalty, as all cars have a pit limiter for the pit lane. Did he release it too soon? Did he not use it? That's the question. That's of course interesting to know. We have Kestenbrowski still here in P3. A little bigger gap towards Christoph Bijlands at the moment. So P1, 2 and 3 are really confident. And we have Tommy Schets now moving towards P1 due to Julian Hardenberg pitting at the moment. Lap 15, 31 minutes to go. So almost half time the race. So this is the lap for Tommy Schets to push. And I think he just overtook the Lamborghini there of Justin St. Laurent. Or is it even Peter Das? I think it's, yeah, it's Peter Das. So Peter Das already lapped here by Tommy Schets in lap 15. So Tommy Schets still pushing forward as we have Julian Hardenberg now with his pit stop into P11. So this is the moment for Tommy Schets to keep on pushing. So second at the moment, Kestenbrowskis, quite a big gap as well. Christoph Bijlands, P3 still. Making that pit stop, that undercut towards Sivokas it is. And there you have it, halfway down the race. Chris Downing P5, Breuk at the moment P6, of course all have still to pit. And Julian Hardenberg is the number one at the moment who's pushing forwards. And the first up to catch will be Christoph Bijlands, as he's still in pit at the moment. Just last corner here before start finish. Getting a little slipstream there from Van Geffen. And Bijlands being pushed down towards P5. But probably losing a little more there to other cars. Nice clean overtake, the blue flag towards Van Geffen there. Bijlands just rejoined track in P8, 9, 10 actually. We are into Van Geffen here. So Tommy Schets just entered pit. Then it's all eyes towards Julian Hardenberg here. As probably he will have enough space here to move back into that top position, virtual top position.
What's the gap now between him and Dombrovskis?
Quite a lot.
18, 19 seconds?
19, yeah, you're right.
So
So we have Dombrowskis and Schets in pit at the moment. So Jelly and Hardenberg reaching the last sector of this track. And now into the last corner before start finish. So Tommy Schets is still in pit, so he will be fighting back towards P1. Emil Madsen up front there. Tommy Schets just leaving pit. And here is Julian Hardenberg, and there we see Tommy Schets. So the undercut from Julian Hardenberg just paid out towards Tommy Schets. And Tommy Schets just entering track here before Van Geffen in P8.
It's always nice to see these strategies play out.
Yeah, exactly. And Dombrowskis just moving back to P5. So
I wonder what the P1 and 2 are going to do now.
Yeah, Breuker at the moment P2 and Thomas Sivokas P1. So they probably will, let's see at the lap times, 50.5 for Sivokas, 51.8 for Breuker. Compared to Tommy Schets, his outlap of course a 54. So he will lose time now as he his tires will degrade in wear and tear. There we have Thomas Sivokas entering pit. And Martijn Breuker is just also following in to pit at the moment. So that leaves Ace van der Velde, if he doesn't pit, into P1 at the moment. So we have a new lead in this race. Virtually, of course, it's not the truth we see at the moment, but Ace van der Velde in P1 at the moment, pushing forward. And then we have Emil Madsen in P2. No, I see Emil Madsen, correction, Julian Hardenberg into P2, Emil Madsen into pit just now. And we have Thomas Schets there in the back overtaking Eddie Oosterbrugge, I think it was. Tommy Schets here trying to find a way forward towards Julian Hardenberg for that virtual P2 position. So Martijn Breuker and Sivokas both trying to leave pit now. Here we have Sivokas out of pit and Martijn Breuker leaving pit. Emil Madsen in pit still towards Van Geffen, so those two battling for position. And we have still Ace van der Velde pushing in P1 at the moment, but still having to make that mandatory pit with 24 minutes on the clock. So Julian Hardenberg, of course, P2 at the moment, but still virtually he's leader of the field. So probably Tommy Schets will make that pit stop probably this lap.
There's only 3 cars out there that still need to head in.
Yeah, Delgado is in pit, so Ace van der Velde is the last one to go. And he is trying to push still. So
and Voldesi as well, I think, or is that a DNF?
No, Voldesi is definitely DNF as he is already +5 on laps. We have Hardenberg now actually within 5 seconds towards Ace van der Velde. So he's absolutely being pushed out of the field at the moment of the P10.
It's just crazy what's happening here. I really wonder how.
Yeah, those two like Hardenberg and Schets, like they're flying. We have Martijn Breuker here in P6, trying to defend towards Chris Downing and trying to find a increasement towards Thomas Sivokas in P5. So the gap is 6 seconds towards Thomas Sivokas and almost 1.5 towards Chris Downing in the back for defending purposes. And we have Emil Madsen trying to find a way towards Chris Downing here. As this is one of the closest battles on track. We have Jamie Ellis at P12 at the moment, trying to work forward to Christoph Bijlands. So I would say Sean, Christoph Bijlands didn't have his best pit stop at the moment, as he dropped back quite rapidly now.
At this rate, my prediction is gonna come out, and exactly as I said, that Hardenberg, Schets, and Nebraskis get those 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah, you're absolutely true on that one. So Daniel Robson here in the fight with Ilko Hogeveen for P15. We have quite a few disconnects, as we started with, if I'm not wrong, 22 drivers, and we are left now with 19.
Yep. Maybe they just left because, you know.
Yeah, what's the reason to stay out there and not watch the stream, right?
Exactly.
Chris Downing is decreasing the gap towards Martijn Breuker, so that's bad news for Martijn Breuker, who has really started to fend his lines here. So the gap at the moment is 1.1 seconds on start finish here. And we still have Ace van der Velde pushing with Julian Hardenberg behind him here. So his tires are really gone probably at this moment, at this stage. But he had his virtual lead in this race. But he will fall back, of course, rapidly here with the pit stop that's coming up. But nevertheless, he drove P1 here. Ooh, and a big slide as well there from Ace van der Velde. His tires are gone.
Oh man.
Lucky for him, he's just entering the pit stop area here. And this is his sign to pit. Yep, here he goes. So we have Julian Hardenberg back at where he started, P1. Followed by Tommy Schets with a rapid 4.5 second gap there. And we have Gaston Broskis moving into P3, Sean.
I wonder where Azor is gonna end up. I think around P5, P6.
I think a little further down the line, roughly around P9 or 10, I would say. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
Because the gap was 30 seconds when he went in between him and Dabruskus.
And it's only 15 at the moment, and decreasing, of course. So we have Julian Hardenberg fighting here, Christoph Bijlands just trying to lap him. Christoph Bijlands we have here in P11. So we're already lapping position 11 at the moment. And Christoph Bijlands making way, of course, even using his blinker. Well, what a decent driver he is for this league, I would say. And Ace van der Velde is back actually at the track at the moment, P7, Sean, it is. So in between our predictions. And we see Tommy Schets there just entering start finish here in the straight. And that's a roughly 3.5 second gap those guys have at the moment. And Julian Hardenberg, of course, clean air now to move forward, to push. And Tommy Schets to still overtake some back markers here. Ace van der Velde just trying to look forward towards Chris Downing. Quite a long way to go though. Jamie Ellis here in the fight with Christophe Bruilands for P11, a gap of 1.3 seconds. Little wide there. Oh, Tommy Schets really had to hit his brakes to not crash into Jamie Ellis. And lapping, of course, now Jamie Ellis in P12. So we have from Tenbreuker towards Chris Downing, quite a big gap there. So Tenbreuker looking a little safe on the defending sides. But quite a way forward to attack Thomas Sivokas, of course. And there we have Tenbreuker coming into that corner. Just had a little off track in the next corner. So the fight here, Daniel Robinson versus Ilko Hogeveen for P15, or defending for his position P15 at the moment. Moving towards Christophe Bruilands here. And Tommy Schets who's trying to lap Christophe Bruilands. Ooh, a little hit and miss there with Martin Boldinger, I think it is. Yep. And again, Christophe Bruilands, unfortunately. And that was still a fight for position.
What's happening?
Yeah. Tommy Schets trying to pass by. Yes, Martin Boldinger moving out his way. Also being overtaken almost by Jamie Ellis in behind there. Still finding that gap to throttle up. I don't think it was the intention there for that hit with Christophe Bruilands. But still, it happened. So the blue flag, of course, is for Christophe Bruilands towards Tommy Schets. And Tommy Schets just passed Christophe Bruilands here, and we have Martin Boldinger trying to fight back towards Christophe Bruilands for that P10 position. And Jamie Ellis joining that fight as well now in P12. Let's move aboard with Jamie Ellis for a bit. Really has to correct a lot there in the corners, trying not to hit Martin Boldinger. And this is the moment as Martin Boldinger drives a little wide there on that corner. Back into a P11 towards Christophe Bruilands.
I don't think this race will see any sunlight. It will probably be night all day, right?
Yeah, probably 30 minutes on the clock. We're at almost 5 p.m. in the morning. So we'll probably just not see the sun come up at the moment. A little wide there van Vergeffen in P9. Towards Emil Madsen, trying to move forward. Getting back in that momentum. Ace van der Velde still P7, trying to move forward towards Chris Downing. So the gap, Julian Hardenberg and Tommy Schets at the moment is roughly around 8 seconds. So it isn't that big as it was before, Sean. That's good news.
Yeah, I mean, they both have fresh tires, so they can drive a little bit more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but they can push a little bit more.
Yeah. So the biggest gap, of course, is Dambroskis towards Thomas Sivokas in P4. And Thomas Schets trying to find some more pace here as he just passed all those back markers, the blue flaggers. Peter Das up front to him, and then of course Julian Hardenberg in P1. He just looks like he is flying through that corner without any trouble. Just that smooth. Really interesting to watch.
Smooth operator, you'd almost say.
You would say, right? So we have a blue flag, that's of course for Peter Das here in P18. Getting the inside line, Peter Das moving out of his way, as he should. Ooh, cutting a little there the track on the inside of that corner. So what we got going on further down the line. Martijn Breuker still with the gap towards Chris Downing. Fighting or defending for P5. Moving towards Thomas Sivokas still. Trying to move forward as he is definitely driving a steady race tonight. So actually last lap, Sean, Martijn Breuker was quicker here than Thomas Sivokas with a 51.7 towards a 51.4 of Martijn Breuker. So 3/10.
I think if he can get at it at this pace, he might be able to get that into striking distance of that P4.
Yeah, we got 9 minutes of racing left, so he really needs to push then now.
I wonder if how the car is, if he's still experiencing that slipping.
Yeah, that's a good question to ask, of course. So let's see what these lap times are going to do tonight after this lap. So Thomas Sivokas, last corner now for start finish. He is putting in a lap time of 1 minute 51, I would say, and 6 tenths. And Breuker 51. Oh, so 6 tenths quicker at the moment this lap. So he's definitely trying to push forward.
Go get him, Nico.
So we see decreasing that gap decreasing at the moment. It's of course all due to consistency and tire management here in the wet. How decent is your grip in the last couple of laps you have to put in, and your concentration. Let's move down further down the line. We have Eddie Oosterbruggen trying to push forward towards Martin Baldinger in P12. Quite a big gap. Jamie Ellis is the next one in line for Martin Baldinger. Quite a big gap, unfortunately. So Enzo Benvenuti also out of this race, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
It is, it is. So Emil Madsen trying to fight Van Geffen here for P8. Looks like he's pushing really at the moment.
Damn, that engine sounds really nice.
Yeah, the Lexus, right? Little boy there keeps it under control. That's the most important part. Really pushing at the moment, Emil Madsen here. A little wide there for Van Geffen. So giving the chance towards Emil Madsen to catch up a little more. Still a 0.6 second gap, and you just see the power of the Bentley pulling away here on the straight. So it's Emil Madsen needing that corner work to get closer towards Van Geffen. Let's see the fight, Chris Downing, Martijn Breuker towards Thomas Sivokas. It looks, Sean, he lost some time there, so our Nico Hulkenberg is back to where he started, finding pace. So probably a little spin in the corner.
Oh man. Yeah, it's 4/10 the difference now. I think he lost because he had gained 4/10.
Yeah. So
oh, come on, do it, man. You got this.
Eddie Oosterbruggen trying to fight Martin Baldinger for P12. Back at the moment, Justin St. Laurent, our back marker, P19. Trying to find a way forward, but still has to unlap himself to Eddie Oosterbruggen here up front. So we have 4 minutes left, Sean, in this race. We're almost nearing the end. And we have a comfortable lead here by Julian Hardenberg in P1. Just entering a group of back markers here for him. Not back marks, of course, blue flaggers. It's Emil Madsen, so he is actually lapping at the moment P9. Or almost lapping P9. So that's Emil Madsen and Van Geffen P9 and P8. So they will get blue flags in just a moment. There they are already. So Tommy Schets trying to chase up to Julian Hardenberg, who is losing a little time with those blue flaggers, but unfortunately not enough, as we only have 3 minutes to go. So Martijn Breuker still trying to catch up towards Thomas Sivokas for P4, but probably is not complaining a lot with this P5 position, as he was really doubting the outcome of this race for him beforehand. So there we have Emil Madsen just moving aside, so P9 being lapped by P1 at the moment. That just says enough about the pace of Julian Hardenberg here. Vergeffen next up for him. Let's move on board real quick with Julian Hardenberg to see how his lines are on this track. And Vergeffen moving out of the way nicely there. And there we have a lapped Vergeffen in P8. Next up for him is Ace van der Velde P7 already. So Ace van der Velde P7, as just said, really good effort, a good result for him as well in the Porsche here. So Martijn Breuker within that second gap toward Thomas Sivokas, but still probably not enough, as we only have roughly 1 lap or 2 laps left now. Ooh, just a little fault there probably from Thomas Sivokas in that previous corner, putting Martijn Breuker just in the position to attack here. Let's see if he can keep it together now. And it's the acceleration out of this corner where it looks like Sivokas is pulling away a little. A little slippery there from Martijn Breuker when he's trying to rejoin that racing line. Little wide it looks like. Back to 7/10 at the moment. Right, so we have Julian Hardenberg just passing start finish for his final lap in this race. Comfortably leading in P1. We are looking at Martijn Breuker, who just saw Thomas Sivokas cutting that corner a little. But he's being held up here by blue flaggers, and I think that's the Bentley of Eddie Oosterbrugge. Yep, getting out of the way of those two guys here. So we have Tommy Schets in P2 and Kersten Broskes P3, Sean. So it looks like it's going to happen.
I told you.
Yeah, so my money man Chris Downing P6 couldn't do enough to get into podium position. So we have Julian Hardenberg here in the last sector now for his victory in this race. And that's the first victory that we have here from Julian Hardenberg, Sean.
I hope we can get him in the post-race interview and then find out how he managed to pull off
there we go.
that result.
Julian Hardenberg. Congrats to Julian Hardenberg here. Tommy Schets P2 just entering start finish. Nicely done as well, still moving up the ranks. Kestenbroskis, P3. Also a nice result, and P9 towards the back is already finishing as they cannot complete another lap. So we have Van Geffen in 8, Madsen in Breilands 9 and 10, Ellis 11, Baldinger 12, Oostbrugge 13, Delgado, Robertson, Hogeveen, Weideman and Daas all the way back to 19.
I think if the race went on a little bit longer, then Martijn Breuker would have had Sivocas.
Yeah, would be an option, right? So,
Yeah.
So Kestenbroskis P3, there we have the podium. Last corners here for Martijn Breuker and Thomas Sivocas. So P4, nicely done, Thomas Sivocas as well. Congrats on that one. And Martijn Breuker not complaining, P5 probably. Chris Downing P6 and Ace van der Velde closing down the line with P7.
Still not a bad result.
Definitely not a bad result, absolutely. And he is just finishing here.
Was it Peter Daas last time that didn't cross start finish?
Well, yeah, that was the one that we were cheering up to continue driving, yeah.
Let's hope he does this time.
He already finished, so no worries there for him. So Ilko Hogeveen and René Robertson are the last one to cross the finish line with a 2-lap difference, and they are, well, the victory spin there from Ace van der Velde. Alright, Sean. I think he's happy here, Ace van der Velde.
I think so too. I've never seen him do this before.
Well, we'll probably move into the post-race interview, and let's see if Julian Hardenberg, Kestenbroskis and Tommy Schesser can join us there.
I hope so as well.
See you on the other flip side.
See you on the side. There we are again.
There we are, there we are. Let's see if we have Julian Hardenberg in Discord as well, so we can, as this of course is completely new for him, to get him to the post-race interview. Well, we see we already got Tommy there, and then Cass is the other one we're looking forward to. So everybody is moving into position in the post-race interview. Let's wait a little for Julian Hardenberg. Julian is on the way, as he told me just now, so we should be good.
He's here.
He's there. Nice. We can start. Julian, good evening. New to the league.
Good evening.
And a P1 finish. Congrats, first of all.
Thanks.
How was it working out for you tonight? Like, it was not looking that you were driving in the rain here.
No, it was going pretty well. Of course, I've had the AOR race 2 weeks ago on a wet Hungaroring as well, so
that helped.
I was quite familiar with the rain on this track already. So I guess that really helped me out here today.
Sean, looking here at the performance of Julian tonight, what's the one thing that struck you tonight?
Well, I mean, he had a 30-second lead at some point, and I just wonder, like, how it looked like the rain in the night didn't affect you at all. How do you manage to perform in a way that you did?
I don't know really. The car just felt really good today. I just had some real good confidence after the qualifying as well, and I knew if I just took it slow, took it safe, I would be in for a good position.
Yeah, because I think in other races as well, we've seen you kind of like a newcomer to the league, and then suddenly you are already up there in the top. We had like a few minor setbacks, like a start and go at the start of a race. Besides that, you've been like really consistently up there in top 3, I'd say. Before a race, do you like practice a lot on the track, or is it kind of like what Jordi Sanders does, like a couple of practice runs, or what's your process before you start a race?
Well, depends how well I know the track already. If I'm very familiar with the track, I'll just grab the car, try to make a setup that suits me a bit, and then just try to do like an hour or 2 of practice. And if the track is a track I don't know at all, I'll definitely do more practice for it for sure. But yeah, I definitely practice more than Jordi does. He really goes into it quite untrained.
We've noticed, and I don't know if it's luck or skill that's on his side every time. Have you been sim racing for a long time, or?
Yeah, on and off. I've never really sim raced a lot, but I've had my my wheel for quite some time now.
Okay.
Definitely for quite a few years. So.
Okay, because we didn't know if you were like we heard someone say like that you'd only do this for a couple of did this for a couple of months. We were like, wow, then he must be a natural if he's only doing this for a couple of months.
Well, I've only played the game for a couple of months. That's true, but I've played Race Room before, and I've also played some iRacing before. So
okay.
I'm definitely familiar with sim racing.
Alright.
Okay. Those are all my questions. Do you have any?
That was my question as well. Like, are the rumors true? But you're quite familiar in sim racing world, of course. Then.
Yeah.
But really nice to see you shine and being the star here in the league tonight. Yeah, once again, congrats, and let's hope we can see some more shining in the next couple of races.
Yeah, I hope as well. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Julian. Moving over to P2, Tommy Schrets. Congrats,
Hey.
Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah, quite familiar here in this post-race interview room. How was the race for you tonight? Like, it was really you and Julian, it looks like, that were in ease
Well,
with the pace.
No, Gillian was like the second faster lap. So, and I was like a second faster lap P3. So I was right in the middle of nowhere really. So just try to keep it on track the whole race and try to get past the back markers.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest job tonight, right? The back markers and the slippery side of it. As we almost saw you crashing into Jamie Ellis, I think it was, when you were.
No, I think the back marks were okay, so I didn't have any problems. So just be careful a little bit.
Yeah, and just the thing I was wondering, Tommy, there, behind the pit stop that you made, how was your pace? It looked like it was better than before the pit stop. Was that still something that's correct, or was it something that just looks like it?
It was a little bit better. I don't know why, really, but it was. I didn't the first stint. I didn't. I did like 150. I couldn't get into the 149s, and then like the second stint after the pit stop, I could. So, but I didn't really change anything. So I don't really know why I suddenly became faster. But
Yeah, I was wondering that, but that's definitely true then. Sean, any questions there for Tommy?
No, not really. No, you answered them all.
Oh wow, well, teamwork I would say.
okay, thanks guys for the stream.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tommy,
Bye.
and congrats. All right, a P3, and that's the final result you put in there, Sean. So we have Cass here as well. P3, congrats.
Thanks.
Well, how was it for you tonight? I would say in this harsh conditions here in the Hungaroring.
Surprisingly boring. First two guys were in the league of their own.
Yep.
And the guys behind were slower than me. Oh, most of the race at least. Jamie Ellis gave me like first 5 laps something to think about, but later on it was like just moving.
Yeah, just a natural pace you put in here tonight. Question about the consistency you put it in. Was it something towards practice that you had that made the difference, or the setup, or was it tonight for you?
Like I guess mentioned sometime before, I usually get the podiums on the tracks I hate the most.
Yeah.
So this was definitely the case. I really don't like Hungaroring, and I practice. Well, I don't practice here at all, basically. I don't have a dry setup, and I surely don't have a wet setup. So the night didn't help either. So, well, it kind of did, because at least I didn't have to look at the track most of the time. So, you know.
Well, still quite a decent and nice outcome here tonight. Sean, any questions there for Cass, your number 3 tonight?
Well, he answered it, because I was going to ask him if he hates this track or if he dislikes this track or not, because that's his thing. Like, if it's a track he doesn't like, he finishes like in a podium position.
Bingo.
That's his thing. So I was going to ask that. But do you like Barcelona or Kilami?
I hate Barcelona, but I like Kyalami, so.
Okay, so who knows what's gonna happen next week or in 2 weeks?
So we probably speak to each other in 2 weeks' time then again.
Possible.
Well, interesting to know. Interesting to know. Thank a lot there for your answers tonight and the race you put in. Again, congrats P3, nicely done, and hopefully to speak to you to each other again in 2 weeks' time in Barcelona.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, Sean. I think to wrap it up here, it has been a surprisingly nice outcome and a surprisingly decent outcome on your predictions. So I will let you predict the next race in Barcelona as well. And then
I should have put money on them, I guess.
Yeah, I think I can step down and you can step up there.
Well, at least know not to put my money on Chris Downing. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, he put in a decent race tonight, but not good enough for the car that he has. But it was as expected, as the Bentley isn't the strongest car here. But
yeah.
I think we'll see each other and speak each other in 2 weeks' time in Barcelona, and then we'll move almost towards the end of the season. And I was just looking at the scoring sheet. We have now 3 strikes from Jordi Sanders that did not start, so next week could be the week for Tommy Schets to move into P1, as he is just out of options for Jordi Sanders, but yeah,
I think he'll be back. He'll probably watch this. Yeah, he'll probably watch this stream, and then he'll hear us talk about it, and he'll be like, "Oh, I need to step up then," and then he'll suddenly show up for 3 races and win the championship.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to Barcelona in 2 weeks' time then.
Me too. I hope he's there.
All right. We'll see each other and everybody else in 2 weeks' time. For now, a very good evening and.